Hello, back in the motor house, and this is the third installment of working on the Elite transmission, trying to get some bearings changed and fix it. So right now it's tool time. I need to make a tool. Well, a couple tools actually. So out of a 3-inch billet of aluminum here, I am getting ready to make. This is some of the tools, and I'm getting ready to make this one right here, which actually we'll say it looks more like this. If you notice, the yellow area is where it fits inside the outer bearing race, and then it pushes the bearing out, and you basically have to put this in so that you're getting the race out and not damaging any of the surfaces. Basically, all right. So let's bring this up here. This is one. This is one from the parts. Let's put it up here. Easier to look at, and a pointer. Okay. So what we have to do is get something to go from here to here. Let's see, here to here. And we got to get inside and carry this surface to push both of these bearings out. So it can't be too high on the teeth because it will damage them, but we need to be a little low. So if we go back to this, we notice that it has a drop on both sides. And so this will give me the diameter I need, and then I will cut the inside. And I thought about a boring, but do a boring bar for the inside of it. But I can easily use a hole saw, and then what's left on the inside of the billet I can save for another future project. But I will cut down the shoulder on both the front and the back, and then take out what I need from the center. And my idea is to split it in half, and then I can use the two shells, maybe, and just put a quick band on it to hold the shells in place while they get the shaft out. And the shaft comes out with a slide hammer. So I'll get back to that in the next section. Okay, out of the tools here, there are many adapters for the slide hammer, depending on what you need to do. Now, this setup right here is basic. It's in two halves with a sleeve over it, and we'll say a pull point that goes into the slide hammer. And this is basically meant to carry on here. So you take the two shells, you put it on here, you put a sleeve over it to hold the shelves in place, so the slide hammer is hitting this. I do believe I could make that. My thought is I'm going to take this, and I will cut probably a rectangle, cut this down. I will drill in to get what I need on this side, and then drill what I need for this side. Split the whole piece in the middle, and then make a recess for a pull pin up here to go out. Let's go back, sorry, for this. So basically I think I can make this. I won't need a sleeve over it. If I do this right, I can then drill and tap and hold the two pieces together by bolting them multiple places all the way through it. That's kind of how I think I can make that tool, to put a slide hammer on that and get it out. Even if it's not a slide hammer, I'd love to be able to not press it out, but pull it out. I've got a couple of different pullers. I'll see what I can do. Then, let's see, moving on to getting this. I got to lock that in place. So, yes, I've got What we're going to do with this, take this piece of steel here, very nice piece of heavy steel. It's been sitting outside, I'll clean it up. I'm going to drill for this to sit in, go to its shoulder. I will weld that in, and that will become a basic long wrench that holds it in place. And what I saw somebody else did is they took another piece and they went, so basically this is going to be here for the big one. I'm going to cut another one, and what this is going to do is give me a piece that will lock in from here to here, and I can bolt the two of them together. Saw how somebody did that. I'm going to make it a little different from theirs. I've got this, so I'll make a big wrench with this welded in, and then I'll make another piece that will anchor it to the upper shaft. So that's what I'm doing there. Getting the piece that goes between both shafts, I needed to have, it'll basically be similar to this. So what I did is I took, that's what we're looking to come up with, those two centers. So I came up with those two centers. I'll pilot them, put that on a piece of steel, pilot through it, and that should give me my two centered holes that I can work that to. So that's the main pieces I need to make up. And we'll go from there. So, it'd be nice if these ever were available, but you can't do this without special tools. I've noticed that when this was done by somebody else in the past for my parts one, they really did, let me get it right, they really did damage the bearings when they pulled this one apart. And granted, this is all miscellaneous parts, but I think if I get the tools right, then this will come apart a lot easier by the book. So that's where I'm at now, making tools. Parts arrived today from England, and we'll go from there. So I've got my new bearings, I've got the new outer ring, got new lock tabs, let's see, both bearings for in there, gaskets, seals, and we'll go from there. So that's the update at the moment. Just an update on making the tool that I was working on the lathe. So you can see the steps and the size of the tool, and this is how I'm cutting the center out. It's working really well too. Of course I'm not done yet, but for right now the idea is working really well. But that's the setup on a lathe. Okay, this piece right here with its shoulders is what I was working on the lathe, so it's now done. Came out very well, and it will go in here. Once I split it in half, it'll go in here, and should work out just fine. So that's that part. So on to the next tool. Okay, time to check the tool I made on the lathe to see how it works with the bearing. Okay, so this is the bearing. It is a shouldered bearing, and the inside is what's we're pushing against when we try to get it out. All right, so lip fits very well down onto it. The center of the bearing will fall out, so I have to be careful. Okay, so the bearing is just undersized, so it will help push everything out. And if I am careful, sorry, be careful, because you see that they will slide out. It's a perfect fit into the inner part of that outer race, the inner diameter, so it will press, and there's just enough of a shoulder there so it won't impact the teeth on the other gear. So we are in good. I think that came out really well. So that is tool. I'm still going to split it in half because I got to get it into the transmission. So, but if I do have a fine cut, split it in half and put a temporary band on it, it'll be able to press evenly out. The book has one that's only half, and it's only an upper half slide in and nothing on the lower. I think I might just be able to do a little bit better if I can do it with two pieces in there. Let's see, I may be wrong, and it doesn't, my fingers won't, and everything won't fit in there to get it done. That's a possibility. So, but one way or another, half of it would be to the book. If I can get both halves in, then that's even better for less strain on the bearing and race coming out. Okay, that's the update on that tool. Sorry for the shaky. Okay, another tool done. This is the holder that holds that that shaft. Basically, I welded. It won't look too well. We won't look too well. The weld jobs is pretty bad, but it was just to. This is. I'm going to clean everything. Sorry, I'm going to clean everything up, but it fits. Sorry, fits nicely on there. It will hold that shaft, so we can get to that nut, and of course, that nut in the front is a left-handed thread. So, just anybody doesn't read the book if they're doing this. So, got a right-hand thread and a left-hand thread, and if one breaks loose, this will take less stress off of the upper gears. So, that's this tool done, and if I get this right, I may not have to take this out, because once I drop the bottom, according to the book, then the front motion shaft can come out, and that's all the work I got to do. So I may not even have to mess with this section. That would come out after the first motion shaft, so could leave all that in place and put it back together. Okay, so that's the update. I got one more tool to make to be able to get this front out, and I need to get well, actually I need to make that tool, and I got to make an adapter so that I can get onto this to pull it out with a slide hammer. Let's see. This is 7/8 ultra fine. Yes, ultra fine American. And that's, I've got a tap coming, so I can make that up. But it won't arrive for a couple days.